Hi, it is week 2 video on European migration crisis. I am going to answer Mika Westcombe's question. And she had some pretty good questions. She brings up the point that it can cost upward to 2 grand for someone to make the trip, and that in closing Europe's harbors, it says that it can take hundreds and thousands, even to embark on it, and that most of them are men coming over, working men and not women. And she asked, do you think that the article by Heben Crawley and Demetrius Skepris, which is a contrary opinion, proposed that perhaps the categories of migrant and refugees are not adequate for the situation? Did you find the article to affect your opinion about whether or not benefits should be determined by these? Um, I think that the categories of refugees overlap so much. Like if you take into consideration looking at the trips that some of them have to make, some reasons the children and women may not go is it's just not safe. As a male, you have a better chance, and perhaps even as dangerous, it's a little bit safer for a male to travel. Um, by the way of it costing a lot of money, to some of these people, they had great livelihoods and they did have in the money to move, and they're faced with these situations. So they're able to travel to one destination, but then they don't have the money, and they become economic migrants as opposed to refugees. But that's where it really gets kind of sketchy, because if you're not given, once you've gone to a place that's considered safe, even if you're not able to make money for your family or whatever, you're not considered a refugee anymore. However, if you can't feed your family and stuff, you're gonna, basically starve to death. I can understand why countries don't want to take too many in, because it is a strain on the country. But then if you look at countries where it's not as much of a strain, I think what you really have is more countries need to work together to try to mitigate the issue. And I do think the category should be expanded, because a lot of times economic migration starts as refugees.